This is the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief, keeping you informed about the happenings in Annapolis and the area. Local news, local sports, local events, local opinion, and of course, local weather. The Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief starts now.
Good morning. It's Friday, June 21st, 2019. This is John Frenaye, and this is your Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. Welcome to the longest day of the year. Yes, it is the summer solstice, June 21st, so enjoy the maximum daylight hours that you possibly could have. The breaking news this morning is that Annapolis Police have made an arrest in the murder of Edward Montre Tre Da Kid Shea, who was murdered on June 7th on Forest Drive near Newtown Drive. With the help of the FBI, Anne Arundel County Police, and the Baltimore City Police Department, Annapolis police detectives located and arrested James Esau Davis III, 30, of Baltimore, in relation to the case. He has been charged with first-degree murder and other related offenses, and he is currently being held at the Jennifer Road Detention Facility without bond. This is still a very active and fluid investigation, and if anybody has any more information about this homicide, they're asked to call Annapolis Police at 410-260-3439. Chase Cook from the Capital has an interesting article about former budget officer John Hammond. Now, Hammond was kept on after County Executive Pittman was elected to see him through the budget period, and as a consultant, he has charged the county $76,000 for his assistance. His contract was issued as a sole source contract with the county, meaning that there was nobody else that could possibly do the work that Hammond was being contracted to do. So there was no competitive bidding or anything like that for the contract. Now, some county council members have questioned that. Sarah Lacey said she has no problems with the reasonable sole source contract, but didn't think we needed to keep him around forever. Similarly, Councilwoman Amanda Fiedler said that she understood why the county would want to keep him around, but she's very concerned that the other departments may struggle with their own transitions. She said that the departments should have protocols in place to transition leadership, and that makes sense to me. The county's chief administrative officer, Ben Burge, said that he did not think that Hammond would be around for the next budget cycle, and he expected a clean cut no later than December 31st of this year. Annapolis Police Department responded to a call for an assault on Wednesday in the 900 block of Bay Ridge Avenue, which is right near the Vin 909 restaurant. Two women reportedly were chatting outside of a location, and one of them became irate with the other and punched her in the face. And that wasn't enough. Then she pulled out a small screwdriver from her pocket and attacked the victim, cutting her on her arm and the leg. The cuts didn't require medical treatment. However, the suspect was later identified and arrested. Her name was Linda Spriggs. She's 66, of Annapolis. She was arrested, held without bond, and charged with 2 assault charges as well as 1 reckless endangerment. A state government employee charged with viewing child pornography at work is the same one who pleaded guilty decades ago to sexually abusing 4 Boy Scouts. The Baltimore Sun reports that 70-year-old Stephen Comack was turned in by a coworker who said he saw Comack viewing explicit images of minors in his Baltimore state office. If convicted, Comack faces up to 8 years in prison. And the Sun disclosed that Comack was sentenced to 6 months in jail and a year of home detention in 1996 for sexually abusing boys 11 to 13 between 1979 and 1984 when he worked as a Baltimore County recreation counselor and volunteered for the Boy Scouts of America. Finally, if you didn't get a chance to listen to it yesterday, go on over to the Maryland Crabs podcast and check out our episode with the Key School survivors. We spoke to 2 survivors of abuse at Key School, and in about an hour and 50-minute long episode, we do offer their stories. It is a little bit disturbing. It is very sad, but it is a community problem that we do need to address. Okay, not a whole lot of news today. That is about it, but please do check in on eyeonannapolis.net throughout the day because we do update it throughout the day. And while it is Friday and we will have our picks for the weekends, I also have a bit of a rant on the dumbest move the Anne Arundel County Board of Education has ever made. So, hang tight. We have George Young with your local DMV weather forecast. Then we have my rant on the Anne Arundel County Board of Education. And finally, our picks for a great-looking weather-wise weekend. All coming up in just a minute.
4 stages, over 35 bands, one unbeatable location. It's the Eastport A Rockin Music Festival, Saturday, June 22nd. A day-long celebration on the water, showcasing the region's best original artists. Savor mouth-watering food, including local seafood and barbecue, plus an array of beers, wines, and spirits. Bring the family and enjoy the expanded kids area. The Eastport A Rockin Music Festival, June 22nd, 11 to 8 on Bat Creek in historic Eastport. Tickets available at Mission Tix. Complete info at eastportarockin.com.
Going out? You need the most up-to-date local weather. Here's George Young from DMV Weather in Annapolis with today's forecast.
Hey everyone, this is George with DMV Weather, and this is your Eye on Annapolis forecast for Friday, June 21st. Okay, we made it through the storminess and mugginess of much of the work week across the Annapolis region, and now it's time for much nicer conditions as we head into the weekend. Look for temps in the mid to upper 80s today with breezy winds following the passage of a frontal boundary, and then expect just ideal conditions for the weekend ahead with tons of sunshine in the skies above and very nice temps in the 80 to 85 degree range both days. Okay, that's it for today. This is George Young of DMV Weather. Make it a great weekend out there. Be sure to get our free app on all of your devices by searching for DCMDVA Weather in the Apple or Google App Stores. And also follow us on Facebook and Twitter and on our website at dmvweather.com so you can always stay weather informed.
So many different stories in the news, and everyone has an opinion. Here's ours.
Take that, Mark Maron. Pardon me for bragging just a little bit, but the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief just became the #1 podcast in the world. Thank you. Now, before everyone starts to suck up, I need to let you know that the designation as the #1 podcast in the world was not really determined by downloads. It wasn't determined by subscribers, and it was not even determined by a panel of experts, but it was determined by my kids. Huh? That's right, my kids. Objective? Not so much. Biased? Absolutely. Just like the Anne Arundel County Public Schools will become in the next few years. In what was one of the dumbest moves ever by the Board of Education, Melissa Ellis, Josie Urea, Dana Schalheim, Terry Gilliland, and Eric Grannon all voted to do away with class ranking and to modify the way valedictorian and salutatorians are chosen. The reason for the change? And I kid you not, supporters claim that the class rank, quote, fosters a competitive environment that causes stress. Urea, who is the vice president of the board and the student member, who is done at the end of the month, I might add, said that the ranking was, quote, detrimental to the mental health of the students. Sorry, Josie, I can think of a few more detriments to the mental health of the students than class rank. Let's start with substitute teachers screwing students and work our way around to students shaming and sharing nudes on that secret Instagram account. Josie, as you graduate and presumably go on to college, I fear you are in for a rude awakening. College and a career beyond that will not treat you with the kid gloves you feel you are entitled to be treated with. So now, students from Anne Arundel County will be unable to answer the simple question, hey, where did you graduate in your class? Both the smartest and the dumbest will both have to say,
I don't know.
Way to go. But in their infinite wisdom, the Board of Education did decide to keep the salutatorian and valedictorian designation. One might ask how that happens when no one knows where they rank. Well, Superintendent George Arlotto will be picking them based on character and leadership qualities. And I think there may be a criteria in there for wearing sensible shoes and sunscreen as well. The schools will still offer the Latin honors, cum laude, magna cum laude, and summa cum laude. And in order to be valedictorian or salutatorian, you do need to have a 4.3 GPA or higher. And get this, you need to apply to be a valedictorian or salutatorian. Oh my God, the pressure. How is everybody going to cope? So there you have it. No longer will the smartest student be recognized as the smartest, and those that fall somewhere in the middle or the bottom of the class will blindly go forth into the world without an idea of where they stand. Welcome to the Anne Arundel County Public Schools. And that's what I'm thinking today.
Every weekend, there's something exciting going on in the Annapolis area. Be sure to visit eyeonannapolis.net to sign up for a newsletter highlighting all the weekend events. Here are our top picks for this weekend.
Friday. Thank God it's Friday.
Yes, it is the weekend again, and boy, what a beautiful weekend it looks to be weather-wise. I hope you are ready for it. Let's kick it off tomorrow morning down in South County in Lothian. It is the Happy Living Health Fair at Green Street Gardens. They are located right on West Bayfront Road. Gets underway at 9 a.m., goes till 2 p.m. It is free to attend. And you can join them in their greenhouse and spring into healthy habits. You can meet with a variety of community health providers, practitioners, and vendors who are all going to be on hand demonstrating the way to a healthier life. Again, get healthy with Green Street Gardens down in Lothian at their Happy Living Health Fair. The big event this weekend, certainly on Saturday, is Eastport A Rockin. It is the 23rd annual one. And if you missed our podcast over on the Maryland Crabs with Jessica Packler and Christina Wilharm, please do check that out so you can get an insight as to what to expect on Saturday. But it opens at 11 a.m. on Saturday at 2nd Street and Back Creek in the general area there. Goes till 8 p.m. at night, and you can still get tickets right now through midnight at a discount. And you can get them at eastportarockin.com, and there is no G on the end of rocking. For those that aren't aware, this is a giant block party for Eastport and Annapolis. You'll have several thousand people. You'll have 40 bands on 4 stages, plenty of food, plenty of drink, lots of fun for grown-ups and kids alike. Hands down, my favorite festival in Annapolis, year after year after year. Tickets are $20 until midnight. They go up to $25 at the gate, and there are still some VIP tickets that are available. They are $100 in advance and $150 at the gate, and VIP does include unlimited beer. After Eastport A Rockin, you might want to head to Stan and Joe's to check out live comedy with free Range Improv. And actually, if you'd like to go for free, we're having a contest over on our Facebook page at All Annapolis. It is pinned to the top. There are 2 chances to win 2 4-packs of tickets to that show. And we've even thrown in a little something extra where you can actually select to be either included or excluded from their antics. So they may pull you up, or they may just leave you sit in your chair, your choice. If you have never seen improv comedy done right, this is the show for you. They are local. They're based here in Annapolis. They are a lot of fun. I highly recommend it. And Stan and Joe's upstairs is a really good room to see something like that. Sliding into Sunday, the Race Across America is starting to come into town, and these are bicycle racers that have taken off from California and biked across the country and finish here in Annapolis. Happens year after year after year. This is probably like their 8th year, I believe. And on Sunday, they are going to be having a Race Across America street party. It's right down there in Market Space behind the Market House. All of the restaurants in that area, so you've got McGarvey's, Middleton's, the Market House, Harvest Wooden Tap, Federal House, Iron Rooster. They're all going to be out there with grills and drinks, live music, dancing, fun for the kids, chances to mix and mingle with some of the racers that are coming across the finish line at City Dock. That will be a fun event on Sunday. Again, it is totally free. It gets underway at noon and goes till about 6 p.m. If you would like to chill a little bit on Sunday, it is the Pride Paddle with Capital SUP. This does get underway at 2 p.m., and it is a celebration of Pride Month here in Annapolis. And Capital SUP has their new location at 7300 Edgewood Road, which is at the Annapolis Maritime Museum and Parks Edgewood Road campus. Capital SUP is going to be hosting the excursion, and you'll be able to paddle around Back Creek, explore the nooks and crannies, and they will bring it around to the Bemby Beach Point, where they have a nice little beach so you can beach up your board and take a little dip in the cool waters of the Chesapeake Bay. Open to all ages, all skill levels, and it does include a complimentary beer, but only when you're done. No drinking and supping. Again, gets underway at 2 p.m., goes till about 3:30 at Capital SUP off of Edgewood Road at the Annapolis Maritime Museum and Park campus. All right, those are our recommendations for the weekend. Pick one, pick two, pick all of them. It doesn't matter, but whatever you do, please do it safely. We want to see you here on Monday. Besides that, have a great weekend.
You've been listening to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. Tell your friends and colleagues this is the podcast where you can keep up on the latest with what's going on in Annapolis. And also tell them about our website, eyeonannapolis.net, where you can find even more information. This podcast comes to you every Monday through Friday at 7 a.m., keeping you informed with the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. And take a moment to listen to our other podcast, The Maryland Crabs, released every Thursday at noon.